people say Eminem's a good rapper.
You think Rob Zombie beats
I think
him?
Rob Zombie give him a run for his money. As long as Rob Zombie can say motherfucker to bridge to the next lyric.
Well, why not? I mean,
Eminem
Eminem uses transition from line to line.
He's good at that. He is good at that. I don't think he sounds as great live now as he did. You know, now I'm going to sound like a dick saying 15 years ago. I was like, well, of course, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sound that great.
Well, it's just like everybody always getting on the ass of, I don't know, well, Paul McCartney, Robert Plant, any of these old guys that are still fucking touring, you know, or trying to make a little coin here and there, whatever, although COVID really kind of drove the old guys out of the scene like rats scurrying.
No shit, right.
But,
let the youth play for a little bit.
Yeah. But that's the whole thing. And then somebody will go to a show and go, man, that guy ain't nearly what he used to be. Well, you fucking know. Age has a hilarious effect on humans.
When I saw Paul McCartney in Lubbock, I was shocked at how well he did at being, I think he was 62 at the time, maybe.
Well, he's a man that has to outlive Ringo, right?
Well, he's doing a hell of a job. And I don't know, you saw where McCartney's like, oh, I'm not doing fucking autographs no more. Fuck you bitches.
No, I didn't.
He didn't say it like that, of course. He's
of course.
A little more.
He's got a sir in front of his name.
That's true. He's a knight. But so Ringo way back when's like, I'm not signing shit no more, guys. Peace and love, but I'm fucking done with it. Peace and love and all this other bullshit.
Yeah.
All because, something that has Ringo Starr's fucking name on it carries value. Sentimental for the person that got it and monetary if they want to get rid of it.
Isn't that the problem, though? Is because people monetize autographs. They do. There are companies, they'll show up at some of these fucking, like, little, they get, like, the backstage experience, whatever. The shit that Tool charges, like, $600 a head for,
Right.
But, yeah, they'll sign shit then, kind of. I can appreciate bands or artists in general just say, nah, you know what? We're not signing shit. We're done with that, so enjoy. Because we're done, whatever's out there. But because the people that are making the money are that's what they do. They'll show up to a gig and with like fucking 10 pieces of gear. Here, can you sign all this? Who are you?
But then on the other side of that coin, say all of a sudden the market is just flooded with thousands of pieces of Paul McCartney signed memorabilia. That price is going to come down.
I think it'd be hilarious if he did all that, and then like the day after he passes from this world to the next, then his estate releases it. So all these dicks that are out there thinking they're sitting on a gold mine suddenly are sitting on 10, 20 cents.
See, I mean, I don't have autographs for value.
Right.
They're an extra token to remind me of a time in my existence that I really enjoyed. So, and that honestly, fucking, if Paul McCartney maybe signed some more shit, maybe his autograph wouldn't be like $800.
Yeah. Yeah, but
granted, I paid $200 to see this motherfucker in concert. I don't know what he's bitching about people making that same amount on his signature.
And I can't really bash the whole thing of getting autographs because there are four autographed photos in this house. Michael P.S. Hayes from wrestling, of course.
That's right, Daddy.
Even more importantly, Julie Newmar.
That's right, Daddy.
My friend Bree Bagwell is up there, and my brother Daryl's friend, I guess, or whatever she is, Nita Strauss. So, yeah. Those four, that's it. And I don't intend to get another one because, I don't know if you've priced out, Amy Winehouse fucking autographs. And and before you say anything, fuck you, because she's kind of the patron of this house. Yeah,
we have many, but she's up there.
She's up that chain. I mean, if you get a legit COA Amy Winehouse signature, you're talking about just south of $1,000.
God,
well, she died at 27.
Yeah, she hasn't been. She stopped doing autographs a long time ago.
Yeah, so and it's not like that there are new ones coming out, but. Still, I think it'd be hilarious if you got somebody, I don't know, Paul McCartney or Robert Plant. I'd mention him early. Just it's like spending their entire off time just autographing shit, knowing that the day they pass, that the next day that shit's going to come out, and all these cunts that are out there that are like that's what they do for business. Like, oh, you want to get an autograph? That's $500,
right?
Yeah. knowing that they've done nothing but hustle and undercut and pay somebody like, oh, I'll give $50 for that autograph. Next thing you know, it's on the internet next day for $600.
Yeah. Pro wrestling is kind of like that, but it's more a business model than it is assholes, because the majority of the money is going to the pro wrestler. They'll get a hold of like Jerry the King Lawler.
Okay.
Pro wrestling, an organization get a hold and be like, look, we want to get a hold of you to do a private signing for about an hour. We'll bring a whole bunch of shit. We'll pay you this flat rate. We even had some people send in special things that they wanted signed and make a fucking buttload of cash. And then that company will go and sell the 8x10s for like $40 a pop because they have so many.
God, it just feels like there could be a better business model for all of that.
God.
But I don't know, because that's the one thing, because that is still a carryover. Because we live in a digital world nowadays. It doesn't matter if you own albums or whatever.
NFTs, brother. You want a picture forever?
Yeah, man, I'll be glad when that shit goes away, because it will. Because it's unsustainable what people think. I got a friend of mine that's a fucking singer-songwriter, lives in Lubbock. Well, used to. But this dude, he's like, man, the world's got to go the way of NFTs. It's like, man, nobody's ever heard of you. How is this going to line your pockets?
Yeah.
Now, and he makes the argument, well, Spotify, I get, a half a cent for this and whatever. I get it. Spotify is fucked. No, I'm not trying to support that system. I'm just saying, man, isn't there a better one for artists? And I'm not talking NFT. Fuck that. Mark my words. In 5 years, people go, what the fuck's an NFT? Because it'll have already collapsed and gone.
Look, I got this animated GIF of the turtle on my phone, and it's worth, I paid $20,000 for it. Now it's, it ain't worth shit.
Something unique. But make shit with your bare hands. Guess what? That's also unique.
Yeah, I break out a snipping tool on my computer, and boom, I got it now, too.
It's,
I'm going to sell it on the market for like a quarter of what it's worth. Make a little cheddar.
It is so bizarre, the faith that people are putting in that system. And again, I am not supportive of Spotify or YouTube or any of this shit, what all these assholes are doing to content creators, specifically musicians. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. That system is that's already a bad system. I just don't think NFTs are going to be the system to replace it. There has got to be something that's a little more common sense, that is a little bit more, I don't know, intellectually driven, of like, okay, what's a smart way to do this to make sure the artist is getting his fucking chunk?
Yeah.
And where other people make a little money too.
I think that really falls in the, like Matt Heafy from Trivium. That fucking dude, I think, makes more money on his Twitch stream than he does through his record label.
Probably.
And he has a very popular one. I think he's one of the more popular.
That dude is
musicians on there.
Yeah, he's very internet savvy in that regard, and he does a lot of stuff on Twitch. Twitch once upon a time is like, what does everybody want to watch you playing video games? It's moved on well beyond that.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I mean, it's a very different.
Musicians have invaded.
It's just like Snapchat used to be look at titties. That's all it was. That's all it was. Like, you trying to look for anything serious, you ain't going to find it.
No,
There's a platform of nothing but tits.
Titties, you bet your ass are going to be some titties.
But no, now everybody has got, Snapchat. TikTok was a thing that spawned out of
China.
Kind of a similar note, except then became a stupid thing for a bunch of white people who can't dance to dance, and put their little clips up and shit, and then people have their own little shared groups, and then they can. I honestly don't care what you're doing enough to really where that would ever have an impact.
That's a thing, man. It's like, I really enjoy not knowing what people are doing.
I heard today that Betty White died.
Huh?
Which, that's a hell of a way to close out a year, right?
If you view her as the heart and soul of a nation. So anyway, so a bunch of people sad because she didn't make 100. I can assume that's the only reason they're sad, right? Well, they may have been living through this woman. Like, hey, if she makes it to 100, then that means I won too.
Yeah.
Just like rooting on for a football team.
It is. Or your political party or whatever you do. I don't know, whatever we can do in this country to make sure that, like, rah, 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 I'm behind this person. Taylor Swift fans, perfect example.
Joe Rogan fans.
Whoa, good God.
Uh-oh. Did I say that?
Oh, you mean dummies? I used to listen to Rogan. We both fucking did. I mean, and at once upon a time, it seemed like that guy had smart people on that were from different spectrums.
And it was the perfect blend of everything.
I would always feel a little more enlightened. Well, that guy goes to Spotify and he can now do what he wants to do because, in his own words, now he has fuck you money. Well, now he has nothing but goddamn crazy-ass right-wing, harebrained cunts on his show. That really, most of them are full of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's all right. You can't fucking like something your whole life, right? Except maybe drinking.
Drinking's a good one.
Yeah. hadn't
Pussy.
It's hurt me, but it hadn't wronged me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Rogan goes on, and he's now got, $100 million. He's wanted to open some big-ass comedy club in Austin to be the biggest in the country and blah, 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 whatever. Yeah. At least with that, I feel like he's spending his money in a means that gives something back to somebody that's not named Joe Rogan. But
well, that's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fucking Joe Rogan. No matter what, even all the shit talking, Joe Rogan's benefiting from all of it.
Every bit of it. Every bit. COVID, he benefited from that because he was able to motivate his whole fucking weird base of wackos, Like, we'll just take a bunch of fucking animal medicine. That's all we'll do. We'll be good.
And I'll be fine in a couple days.
Right?
Like, you got to take into consideration this motherfucker works out.
Oh.
He's so focused on that shit. That's like that's probably what did it. Goddamn Ronig in there. His body's like, fuck you, bitch. I got too much shit in my body right now to have any room for you.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure, 99.9% of his listeners don't have even a quarter of the workout regimen that guy has got.
Oh, fuck no.
But yeah, but they'll do the same thing,
They'll buy a kettlebell, never use it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's fine. I guess we have to be fans of something, but damn it, be a fan of yourself before you start looking externally, right?
I don't know. I'm a fan of drinking.
Yeah, that's always a good move. Shit, I don't know. So the last podcast, 2021. I understand LJ still got issues.
Yep, reached out, and sadly, those issues continue.
Yeah. Well, all right. And then Brandon was going to do a clip show, kind of like what we did last year, but it's fine. There's no practical reason for us to necessarily even do a podcast this week, except for the fact that Brandon has a birthday that we're going to be ringing in here in about 6 hours.
Yeah, it's on a Friday, so that's why it kind of works.
It does. I mean, so your birthday's technically on a Saturday, but still, if it's a weekend birthday, fuck, it's amazing. And
normally, I use my actual birthday to recover.
Not bad, except fuck that, because tomorrow's Saturday. And,
that's the problem,
and,
right there.
We still got beers to drink. We got a fridge full of them.
That's a good problem to have.
Of course, this past week with me being on vacation, boy, well, just allow me a little time to defile myself, because that's really all I've been doing around here for the last 7 days.
Right. And we're going to have Ruben down here in a little bit. I totally forgot to bring that last dab fucking Apollo sauce, because I wanted to try it.
Yeah.
But maybe it's for the best I forgot it.
It kind of is. You have to let people know. It's like, by the way, this is going to be the hottest thing you've ever had. And, by the way, it's going to stick with you no less than 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah. The more you put on it, just multiply it.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
But that's the one they use. It came straight from the Hedonist, and that's what they use on the hot ones. So,
fucking delicious.
That's the problem, too, right? Because it actually has a good flavor. It's just, it'll fucking make your ears ring and give you hiccups.
Same problem as that fucking Mayan El Yucateca. Although now I think I could probably handle that shit pretty well.
Yeah. No, I use that more than I should. I guess probably that's the only reason why that Apollo sauce does really. It's like, yeah, it's very, very hot. And it is. It's hotter than El Yucateco.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hot.
But that El Yucateco, I use that for taco sauce, though. So.
Apply liberally.
Well, no, I respect it. I have to, because I don't want to have a second butthole developing like about mid-guts, right?
Well, yeah, because shit, that stuff does burn on the way.
It really does.
But for a good cause.
Mead Metal MMA podcast getting together for the final one of 2021. We may perhaps have one next week. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't try to plan things out that far.
We haven't consulted the bones.
Yeah. Well, and our third, Brett, he's supposed to be in town, which I think we mentioned last time. The best intentions we usually have is like, man, let's get together and we'll do a podcast and everything else. And a few hours later, all three of us are fucking just hammered and yelling at the top of our lungs and shit.
And then another couple hours later, we realized, oh, fuck, we were going to do a podcast, weren't we?
Well, I'm way too hammered now. So
I'm way too drunk to taste this chicken.
Yeah, and of course, Brett will be coming down from the area up where they got some pretty serious ass fires going on right now. Yeah, I thought that shit in Colorado. I thought it was going to be like somewhere out in the middle of nowhere. That shit was like it burning southeast of Boulder.
God, man.
I was like, man, we drove through there. I mean, when we went out to Redstone Meadery a couple of years ago. Like right through that whole path right there, which is kind of, there's a little buffer between, you know, the outlying Boulder areas and the outlying Denver areas, but not much, a few miles, maybe.
God, man.
Like, how the fuck does a fire start there?
In Denver, I'm like, when Colorado burns, it don't fuck around.
Yeah. I remember when we were there last time, right? Or was that the time before?
I think no.
I don't know, but that shit was...
No, it was the last time we were there.
It looked like Los Angeles out there, those skies, because you couldn't fucking see more than about a half a mile ahead or something like that.
Shit, we could see the shelf of smoke as we were, like, getting closer to Roy and shit.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, pretty bad times up that way. But I guess that's what humans do, right?
Yeah. Well, you know, we like to fuck shit up, be it for the good or for the bad. I just want to fuck shit up by eating some bonbons and cookies that have pot in them.
We'll throw a little manicotti on later. We'll see how that goes.
Oh, Italian and bonbon.
I don't believe I've made that shit for a solid decade, so we'll see how that goes. So,
damn, look forward to that.
You got to find a level of zen to be able to do that, because essentially you're with a very small spoon and loading tubes of pasta full of cheese and meat. It is
a process.
Yeah, and I mean, granted, there's only like 14 manicotti shells to a box, but if you're thinking each one takes you a solid like 4 or 5 minutes, that's a little bit of time spent
on one singular thing. Yeah, because like you think, fuck, if this were a burrito, I'd already be done.
Yeah,
I'd already be done with all of them.
Eventually, at some point, you just say, you know, fuck this, my hands are going to get dirty. That's all there is to it, so I'm going to start loading this shit in by hand. Slide it on, slap it on the palm, and then rip it right down into the tube. Done in about a minute and a half.
Fuck.
But that only comes along with the later one, so.
Very true. So here we are at the end of the year.
Any big highlights of 2021 for you?
Fuck. Personally, I feel the year's been very kind.
I can't, man, it always kind of weirds me out when people complain. Like, I can recall a year ago, people are like, man, 2020 is just so horrible. It's like you're blaming a calendar year? Is that what you're doing? Because 2020 actually started kind of strong. Let's not fucking lie to ourselves. Right until the old coronavirus made its way from Asia over to here.
Yeah, shit. We were still riding the glow of a Tool concert.
Yeah, man. And then it turns out, 2020 did have a shitty close to it. And by that, I mean the final, 10 and a half months. 2021, hey, it was kind of shitty to start. We thought things were cool. And then dickweeds we live around, they decided it's time to celebrate and get back to normal again when we weren't quite to normal yet. And here we are, right back to where we started at.
Yep. Dealing with the fifth cousin of the COVID.
Which I'm assuming this is just going to be a fucking thing that's going to be around forever, huh?
I guess so.
Oh, well.
Yeah, fuck it. You gotta adjust with the times, right? Or you will be fucking destroyed by them.
Yeah. Well, and the problem is that I think we just heap a bunch of shit onto a thing that technically doesn't exist. We can all realize time is our own construction.
Time is
right?
a construct. Yes, it is.
It's so, I don't know, man. It's a little bit of a problem.
It's just, fuck, time is just an idea to help us know when that sun's coming up and going down.
Well, that's the whole thing. I mentioned the Betty White thing a while ago. People are all freaking out, like, oh man, 2021 had to kick us in the teeth one last
Yeah,
time.
I saw a mutual buddy of ours posted that, and I was like, fuck, what happened to you, man? Because that's what I immediately think is like, what happened to you? Did something happen to you right at the end of the year?
And that mutual friend you're talking about, I immediately went, oh, what fucking happened to the Baltimore Ravens?
That's what I was like, oh, what? Did they all get the fucking violent diarrhea shits? That's tragic.
No, he was lamenting the passing of Betty White and how sad, because a few more days she'd have been 100. And then what? Then you're like, nah, she can die now. It's all good.
Yeah. Fucking that's how people felt about George Burns. George Burns like, oh, we're done here? Okay. Out. Seacrest, out.
Man, I think if you're over 80, I call it a good run. Fuck, I don't know. If you hit 100, cool. Have your little birthday party, while you're over there shitting your pants and slobbering all over yourself and stuff. And, everybody can be around you and be happy because you hit it. All the while you're thinking, I just want to check the fuck out of here.
If my hands could work, I would strangle myself. Yeah, I want to avoid that.
Yeah, that's it. Go out on a high note, right?
The day I have someone coming in to tell me how the process is going to be for them to wipe my ass after a shit, that's the day some hard decisions, but very easy decisions come into play.
And I would say this, if you're somebody over the age of 35.
Ooh, I am.
Don't fixate on it, but fucking at least have it in your head that the reality is like, yeah, all this fun and games is going to come to an end at some point. As long as you have a strategy, like, man, it's okay. Well, and by strategy, I mean have a little peace of mind to yourself. Like, man, that's it. I've embraced what this is. I know this isn't a permanent process.
Yeah.
I mean, you're solid. I mean, but
Yeah.
but I'm addressing everybody else that's out there, man. If you're around approaching 40 or so, or fucking older than that, just know this ride does reach an end.
It does. And how comfortable that roller coaster stops to let you off of it is really ultimately up to you.
God, you imagine that? You imagine going out like with a terrified look on your face? It's just
yeah, that's I don't want that. I want to see it coming. Be like, all right, here we are. This is it. This is it, baby.
That's what I like about closing out 2021. We can just sit around casually talk about death. Be a point of light for everybody.
It is a tradition for me, especially now hitting a new chapter of existence.
Yeah,
hitting the big 4-0. I become a man. This is when I get my man card now.
Shit goes real fast, actually, from that point. Just letting you know.
Well, shit. Well, yeah, like fuck.
That's like one of the fastest decades I ever had.
I'm all right with that. As long as it's good.
Well, we make our own luck, so.
Well, shit, so far, I got to admit, for about the past 18 months, 15 months.
Yeah.
However long I've been selling weed.
Right.
They've been great. And if I can fucking keep that streak going in my 40s, I'm going to do just that.
Well, I think one of the things that's vital, too, is to also recognize, yeah, we're jovially talking about the meeting, the end of our mortal coil.
I guess that could sound a little dark.
But the reality of it is that fucking, it's lingering somewhere out there just beyond the edge of our sight. Embrace the fucking good times. That's
Fuck
what
yeah.
that is.
It'll always be behind you, but there's still shit in front of you.
And the reason that decade went so fast is because I enjoyed myself,
Yeah.
And stop putting unnecessary shit on yourself. If I'm the guy giving advice today, stop going, man, well, I got to do this and I have to do this. And you don't have to do anything except pay your goddamn taxes.
It's true, but that's easy if you got TurboTax.
Ben Franklin had said once upon a time, the only thing you got to worry about are two things, and that's death and taxes. Well, here we are. And those are the only two things. Now, if you start listening to other assholes around you, you also have to worry about coronavirus. You have to worry about, another Trump re-election or something like that. Or you got to worry about Biden getting re-elected or whatever that is.
Left and right-wing extremists.
All this nonsense. No, Ben Franklin had it right. Death, taxes, fuck everything else.
Everything else, yeah, that's just fucking par for the course, man.
All right, so winter storm barreling in here, although we're not really going to get much of the winter side of it. We're just going to get a bunch of the spring side of it, which is fucking nothing but incessant wind, which has been kind of prevalent for, the last 7 days.
And it's going to be colder than fuck.
Yeah. No, we're supposed to get down to like almost single digits, I think, tomorrow night.
Wind chills will be.
Wind chills in the negatives. I saw one like negative 10, negative 12, something like that.
Gonna be cold and tater.
Which, it's all right. It's not like we live in mobile homes.
Ooh. Fuck. So, I'm looking at, I haven't broke out the This Day in Music shit in a while.
Right.
Because I always break it out on the 1st, on my birthday. And that's not, actually, January 1st is not a very interesting day for anything.
It's because everybody stays at home. Right?
Except for a bunch of people lying to themselves that they're going to change, yeah.
Yeah. That's another one, by the way. Don't make resolutions. Because when you fucking have to break it, then you come down hard on yourself. You don't need that.
Yeah. Then you try to pass a vehicle on New Year's Eve and you end up wrecking your sports car and losing an arm. Then what happens? You turn out to still be
the Def Leppard guy?
Happened on this day.
Oh, lordy. It was funny because I saw there was some shit going around. I think on Fuckbook or whatever that one is. It was like, without saying how old you are, date yourself by a concert you went to, and some chick said Pyromania tour for fucking Def Leppard. I went, yeah, well, that would do it. That would do it.
Did your parents bring you like for your 4th birthday? Tell me that.
Oh no, she's older than I am, so.
Yeah, well, it's Pyromania tour. That's okay. That's all right.
Although that's a pretty good one to get. I think that was 1984 or 5.
Yeah, it was. I believe Rick Allen still had his arm when that album came out.
Right, because the joke started about 86. So
yeah, Hysteria. That dude was one-armed drum man. But yeah, Pyromania. Those first 2 albums are decent rock albums.
And I want to go on record saying I don't give 2 shits about Def Leppard, but you start getting into the murky waters of their guitar players and why that some were no longer with the band, and
well, one died.
Well, there's that, but
due to alcoholism.
I don't remember the dude's name, but is that maybe the dude? I don't know, but he's one of the founders, but they kind of fired him.
Oh yeah, the guy that played the big ass. Yeah, Pete Willis.
There you go.
Pete Willis, because it was Pete Willis and Steve. The Steve guy that died. Those were your first 2, I believe.
But one of them's like, man, you get fired from your own band? Oh. That's just like that Chris Kimball guy getting fired from America's Test Kitchen. Like, he spent 25 years working his dick off trying to build this brand and this product, and then he gets bounced by his own board.
Just totally fucked. Yeah. It happens.
So a little other piece of advice then, since that's what we're laying down today. Never start your own company and create a board of directors.
No. Join a company that's already established and then try to steal it.
Take it from the inside out. Right. That's Gordon Gekko way. That's,
yes.
Yeah. Throw in a little Wall Street later.
It'll work just as good as it did for him, I think.
As the man said, greed is good, right?
Greed works. It works. It keeps shit going.
You can't tell me the greed doesn't work. Because look at these cunts that, everybody talks about, in very, in admirative tones. Warren Buffett. Fuck that guy. You don't get where he's at without a lot of blood on your hands.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go a little positive.
All right.
Let's look to the coming year.
Good. As we start to dig the grave of this one, let's talk about the coming one.
It's a tradition to kind of get the Kevin Robbins idea of what those big albums are going to be September of 2022.
Oh, shit. Well, you're hitting me kind of blindsided on this one because that's a little bit of a problem.
Well, and even that's all right because it could even be on feel.
Yeah.
Now, because let's see. Here's the thing that might be tough about it. A lot of the bands we hold dear have put shit out.
Recently, yeah. That's
this was the year of Mastodon and Jerry Cantrell.
Yeah.
The year before that was the year of fucking Deftones.
And it's only been a couple of years since Tool put out Fear Inoculum, so we've got another 12 to go.
Yeah, that's true. God damn. That's what I want to stay alive for. Like, man, if I can stay alive long enough for one more Tool album, I'm ready to go after that.
Yeah. I have a weird feeling we'll get probably 2 or 3 Pus4 albums before we get another Tool album.
Yeah. Might even, nah.
I don't think we're ever going to see an APC album.
I was just going to say maybe an APC album. I was thinking, I don't know.
Because clearly we're pivoting on Maynard James Keenan right now. But
Yeah, that's really the question. Like, what's he going to do this year? Clearly going to tour, which is good.
Probably get COVID again, right? A third time. Third time.
Well, that's got to be a small club, right? People
like,
got COVID 3 times?
Well, that's got to be the other one, too, though, for the anti-vaccination crowd, right? Like, all right, so you're saying, like, oh, well, you got to catch it so your body can fight it off.
Bitches, it ain't like the chicken pox.
We'll talk to fucking Maynard. I mean, that guy's had it twice and was vaccinated.
And you want to talk about someone that's in fucking shape. He's in shape for being an older dude. I mean, he's up there. He's in his 50s, I believe.
Oh, yeah. No, he's got me by like 5 years, I think.
Yeah.
4 or 5 years.
So, I mean, shit. I would not call him high risk, but like if he gets, like, it ain't going to be a fun trip.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Who would probably be putting something out that we would give a damn about this year?
Metallica have said they've worked on shit, but usually they strike me now as a band. It's like if they're working on something, they're going to sell it to you for at least 6 months while they make it. Right. That hadn't started yet. We just enjoyed the 40th anniversary of this band. So they're probably taking the year off as far as new anything.
I would have to say, though, 2021's been an interesting year because you'd think like the year that Hardwired came out was what, 2017?
16 or 17, yeah.
Something like that. It was so the you would think that would have been the heaviest year that we're playing Metallica around this place. Shit, just in the last like month and a half alone, we've been going fucking crazy on Metallica.
We've been going brick shit house, right?
Now, some of that I can owe to a streaming service, Coda, which for $5 a month is very affordable. The problem is their library isn't very big, so I let that shit go. But you can catch a couple of free shows from Metallica on that. Also, on top of that, then Metallica had well, I think we did a big retrospective, I think, on a look back, because between you and me and Jack,
yeah,
that's, I mean, I'm not the big fan that you two are, but man, every time you guys start getting fired up, well, fuck, then it's like throw on some Metallica.
It's just like watching someone else's football team, and then you feel like you're rooting for that team, even though you would never do that.
It's a good analogy because that's where I find myself kind of with Metallica. I get excited when there's some shit going on, even though I know basically Hetfield's a problem. That guy's a real problem. That guy's his own worst enemy, as is Lars, really.
Yeah, but I feel like now they have hit a spot in their career. It's like, nah, fuck it, dude. They're untouchable.
Oh, yeah.
Metallica's legacy is set in goddamn fucking stone, quartz, diamonds. It ain't going nowhere.
Man, if I have to make a prediction about who I think will probably have a new one coming out by late summer, early fall, I'm going to go Megadeth, and it's not going to be good. Because, frankly, when has Megadeth put out a good record in the last decade?
Okay. Megadeth, okay, they put out Dystopia, right?
Right.
Dystopia was good. It was good. Before that, I don't think I can recall what that was.
Well, not Rust, but...
No, fucking rest in peace. That was 1990.
That's yeah, you're going to go way, way back.
Yeah, I mean, like before Dystopia came out.
Oh, so you're trying to figure out, like, put together, like, a couple of good ones back to back? Good luck.
The thing is, with Megadeth releases, for me personally, ever since 13, I kind of listened to it for a couple weeks, and it's dead to me.
Okay, well, I've got one that might kindle your desires.
Ooh, kindle.
I am going to go out on a limb, and this is absent of anything. I think Moonsorrow is going to put an album out this year.
No shit. Huh.
Henry Cervalli he's been busy as shit with Ravio, but that's his day job. Fintroll put out a record last year and a half ago.
Right.
Moonsorrow hadn't put out anything since Jamal Tanaika.
And that was 2016?
16, yeah. 16 or 17. So that's...
And a good album.
It was probably 16.
But a good album, but following up the one that was basically my doorway.
Yeah.
And I'm not even going to try to say the name of it because
Oh, that one. Oh, you mean the one with
the four names.
Even in what is that one? It's all in Finnish.
Yeah.
Which I think translates to some shit like like even in death we walk among the shadows, or even in life we walk, I don't know, something like that. But it was the that's kind of a pivotal record to kind of get yourself into Moonsorrow, sure. And that came out in 2012.
Oh yeah, that's still my favorite shit. Except for
if you go 2012 then to 2016 for Jamalt and Ika, that means they're about due for a new one. So
I would say so, but I mean,
I would say probably. And they've got a busy festival schedule coming up already for next summer. I think, and I don't think it's going to be a September, October release. It'll probably be like a June, July release, I bet.
So I'm going to name some bands here that are working on music for 2022. And you tell me.
These are ones they've made it known they are.
They have material in production for 2022.
Okay. Which probably means that they're going to be first half releases instead of second half.
Blind Guardian is working on shit for 2022.
That's weird because J.R.R. Tolkien died a long time ago.
Hey, fucking, you can still have that writer alive and they'll still write material for it. Coheed and Cambria got an album coming out this year.
Okay. See, and that was one of them I was going to throw out there, but my problem is this. As big of a Coheed fan as I kind of am, I started thinking about it. I don't like anything they've done in you'd have to go back more
15 years
more than
for
4
me.
or 5 years ago.
15 years for me.
Because I thought Coming Home was all right, and that was kind of a...
Welcome Home?
Welcome Home, yeah.
Welcome Home, that's 2001.
Was it?
That's like one of their first songs that was a hit. That was on Rock Band, the first Rock Band game.
And One, right? Maybe that's the one I'm thinking. I don't know. It's one of their tracks that's in my fucking Coheed playlist. That I was like, that's like the most recent one I like. And I think it was like 2014, 2015.
I really enjoyed the Jesse's Girl sequel. That was fun. But I think that was more about the video than the song being good. Five Finger Death Punch. No way. Got a new album coming out in 2022.
I don't do much with those guys because I figure
you're smart.
That's what the rest of you can do with your own time.
We'll let y'all deal with that. King's X.
See, now I knew that one was coming because Ty Tabor has been a little bit. Well, actually, he and Doug Pinnick both have been very vocal about Doug Pinnick, especially on the struggles and the challenges has been to be a person of color and gay, in the metal scene in Texas. Fucking that's a tall order.
It's like never since Little Richard has it been harder for a colored man in the music scene to get work done, right?
Yeah.
Well, I got to admit, Ty Tabor kind of has a lot more. Georgia's bad for gay dudes, and Georgia's bad for
Doug
black
Pinnick is he's the one.
Well, I was thinking Little Richard in comparison to Ty Tabor.
Ty Tabor's the white guy. He's the guitar player. And Doug Pinnick's the bass player. Yeah, yep. But Ty Tabor said that they're looking at something. There's been a lot of teases. He had something. I think it was a guitar player. One of those guitar magazines. In an interview, had said that they were looking at getting back out there, but he was addressing it more from what do you do if you're a band full of old guys trying to energize the youth with rock and roll? That's a tall order.
That is a very tall order.
So he's focusing on that. Doug Pinnick's focusing on the POC thing and plus being gay and
really focusing on this whole gay thing.
That's a band with some challenges. I'm not going to lie. And frankly, I don't give a shit what Doug Pinnick does in his off time. I think those dudes make fucking amazing music.
That they do.
Why is it an issue? Oh, I don't know. Because we as humans always want fucking the things we like. We want them to like the same things we like. So, it
is a little on the weird side.
Which is a really bad route to go.
Nita Strauss got a new album coming out this year.
There you go.
There's one. Ozzy, of course. God damn, that dude just pooping out.
Ozzy puts them out all the time, right? But that's mainly because I think that I think he goes to the studio to get away from that chick that he's married to, right?
Yeah, but now he's just doing music with everybody because he's 100 years old. And I hear this guy on his own fucking radio station on Sirius.
He didn't do music with everybody. You can ask Zach Wilde.
Zach Wilde's on the new album.
Oh, is he?
As a guest guitarist.
Okay.
So that might be the one song that sounds really good. But I hear him on fucking Ozzy's Boneyard. No, don't you? You are not restarting right now, you piece of shit.
The old computer going, hey, it's Friday.
You fuck you. You fuck you.
It is Friday. It's time to shut down and restart.
And I listened to him talk because he just recently had a birthday.
Okay.
I hear him talk. I'm like, how the fuck are you able to sing anything when you can barely talk? Barely.
He's been unintelligible for like 20 years.
But like now with I know he's had the Parkinson's probably for a while. But he just sounds like an old dude, an old English dude. So then we hear him on these songs that came out because he just put that other album out a while back. Fucking he sounds like he did on Osmosis back fucking 95.
I think that might be a big, well, but you still have to belt it out. You still have to get it out there. So I was going to say it might be a testament to our modern technology, modern sound tech, but you still have to put something out there. You can't make anybody sound good.
Yeah, it might be a combination of the two, I think. Ozzy's still having some chops and really needs some help on the higher end shit.
Well, it's just like this might be the most we've ever mentioned Robert Plant ever on a fucking podcast, but when that dude played Lubbock, that guy had like 3 chicks up there to handle all the very highest harmonies and things that Led Zeppelin used to do, the ones that he's allowed to do in concert by himself, you know. And that's because, like, man, how's he like going crazy on, I don't know, just about anything that Led Zeppelin ever did? It's because they had some chicks.
Had some help. Had some help in the end.
He doesn't have to sing falsetto. He got ladies for that.
Well, here's hoping that 2022 for tunes is pretty good.
I'm cautiously optimistic. I mean, I know there's going to be a road trip to Austin in our picture in this coming year. My brother Daryl, we talk about all the time, and he's been on the podcast twice. But he's a guitar player for the band Firecracker Smile. They're a Stone Temple Pilots tribute band, which is only weird because I think STP's still active as a band, right? I guess you can do a tribute band to the classic shit, though.
Oh, fuck
right?
yeah.
Sure. So I guess tribute and memorial are different. So
you could tribute in memoriam.
Yeah.
If it was like a Scott Weiland tribute band.
Right.
God, but then the musicality is going to just really be focusing on whoever's belting Scott Weiland tracks out.
Yeah. And granted, some pretty raw audio, but they sound really good. So, man, if you're down within an hour of Austin, and keep an eye out, for Firecracker Smile. I think they probably bring a good show. Daryl isn't going to be a part of anything that's not fucking up to snuff. That's just a fact.
Yeah, and you can tell that. I mean, I know fucking Daryl's a huge fan of STP.
Oh shit, he was the guy that got me into STP. Yeah. So.
Crow soundtrack got me into STP. My brother just brought me the movie. I bought the soundtrack.
I guess because their first record came out, and I was lukewarm on it.
Core?
Right. I was very lukewarm. Purple came out, and it was Daryl actually that said, "Man, I don't know where you're at on Core," which Core sounds to this day now, looking back, sounds like a greatest hits album, but it was their first one.
Yeah, a lot of hits on that one.
But my problem was the hype. Anything that's overhyped, I don't buy into it. STP came along at the end of the grunge thing, and too many people that were wrapped up in grunge wanted to cling to something. And STP was it until Scott Weiland said basically like, "Fuck you people, we're not a grunge band." And
we're going to show you with Tiny Music.
Well, Purple came out, and that's when Daryl told me, he's like, "Man," he said, "I don't know where you've been at on these guys, but if you're not into them now, there's something wrong with you." And Purple fucking blew my goddamn socks off. And then we promptly turned right around and went to Amarillo and watched them there.
Life of Riley.
Yeah.
That's what I'm sad I missed out on.
Well, and then Tiny Music came along, which was fine. Actually, I have no problems with Tiny Music. It's number 4 and almost everything after.
Yeah.
And it's not because it's not talented. It's just it's not what it was. I think you can kind of capture some lightning in a bottle, and as some bands do. Perfect example of this would be Blind Melon. That fucking first record of theirs was fucking bonkers. They put out that second one like right after Shannon Hoon died. Either days before or days after, I forget. And but when you go back and listen, I was like, man, this is not great.
Yeah. But hey, that maybe that's for the best. The legacy of Blind Melon is officially sealed forever.
So the way I speak reverently about a lot of these bands out of the 90s, do you think they're well, you're about a decade under me. Do you have the same reverence of bands from the 2000s, Korn and, ICP?
ICP. Oh my God. That was a very brief moment in my life, sir. The 90s will always... there's just so much more I'm attached to in the 90s. I got through the 2000s by drinking and just listening to heavy shit. I became a musical snob.
Laterals and 10,000 Days, I think, probably helped a lot.
Sure. Yeah, but I was listening like Typo, fucking...
Static X.
Static X.
That was an interesting kind of a little run. And I guess in my efforts to try to understand where you're at on fandom, you and Ruben both, because you guys are fucking just
we are the
weeks
same.
apart, right? But,
yeah.
But the shit you guys are into, I don't shit on it because I think, well, I wouldn't want anybody shitting on Pearl Jam on their first and second record. I wouldn't want anybody shitting on, STP for that matter. I wouldn't want anybody shitting on Soundgarden. And so that's why I always, and frankly, can we just stop shitting on people's music choices unless they're fucking clearly terrible, like Taylor Swift?
Or let's flip the script. It's like, can we stop playing music we like in the hopes other people will like it too?
Maybe that.
Fucking just jam what you jam. If someone digs it, great. You fucking you showed someone something new. They don't like it. Clearly, they like you enough to fucking jam it with you.
Right.
Don't worry about what motherfuckers think. Just jam your shit. I'm sounding like Ruben even more now.
Yeah, no, man, to kind of do a weird comeback around to what we were talking about earlier, life is a weird fucking thing. And trying to find joy in life is kind of it's a very hard thing to do.
Yes.
But one of the first steps in that is to fucking recognize, number one, that you're full of shit. And number two, everybody around you is full of shit. So once you get that, then understand, then you can kind of get to the core of who you are and scratch it where it itches, If you're fucking into Behemoth's new record that just dropped today.
That was a live one.
Good for you. I'm probably not going to dig it, That's okay. If we're hanging out and drinking or whatever and you want to throw it on, great. We're going to pull the decibels down a little, but that's okay. That's because that's your shit, not mine.
Right.
And that's okay because I'm going to turn right around and play some fucking crazy ass like Billy Squier from way back the fuck when, or maybe something that's out of fucking Scandinavia you've never even heard of. That's the possibilities that are there.
That dude with the eye patch.
Because that's the shit that makes me happy. So if that's your pursuit,
if folks could just get off on the joy of others rather than having to be the fucking part the joy.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. That's what makes Christmas pretty cool sometimes. Like, we got a buddy of ours that just loves getting off on the joy.
Yeah. No, that's true.
Then I just get off in general.
Shit, man. Well, so you kind of put me on the spot. So what do you see is going to happen in 2021 that's going to blow everybody's mind?
I think Connor beats Oliveira for the belt.
Conor McGregor?
I'm just kidding.
Really?
I'm just kidding.
Get the hell out of here. Although it is interesting because it sounds like Colby Covington, well, he's not going to get a title shot,
No, he's gotten two.
He's gotten two already at welterweight. He was weighing in on the 155 belt, saying that Charles Oliveira actually really takes a lot of the fire and thunder away from Khabib Nurmagomedov and his legacy because Khabib never had to fight Charles Oliveira. Khabib fought a lot of dudes that had no answer. He's wrong on that, which is a weird thing to say.
Well, it's easy to say the guy is wrong when he's being a cunt. But that's a true statement. And Oliveira, Khabib was finishing motherfuckers near the end, which is kind of weird. Like, maybe he was just starting to, like, really hit that prime as he's like, I'm done here, bitches. I'm good.
Maybe. Even after the argument that Covington makes is years ago is that he felt that Gleison Tebow beat fucking Khabib.
Right.
And if you go back and watch that fight, man, that's a really, really good point. I don't see where Khabib even won a round. Now you could give him that second, but that's about it. Gleison Tebow basically almost kept us from having to worry about a guy who's actually a shitty human, by the way.
Oh, yeah. But you do not come to MMA for heroes.
No. But I don't necessarily know how wrong that Covington is on that, because Khabib never fought a fucking high-profile wrestler.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't buy that Justin Gaethje, like, oh, this guy, he's got it. He's got some skills that you don't even know about. Yeah.
And we still don't.
Yeah, we still don't. His defensive wrestling against Khabib proved to be very mediocre.
Yeah. Yeah. And the striking game never caught on that fight.
Yeah.
Of course, to Gaethje's credit, they didn't let that fight stop him. Granted, he didn't get a fight till almost, a year later when he fought Chandler.
So where do you think Gaethje, because clearly he's going to be the next one to get a shot at 155. How do you think that one goes down?
Now, I know they have made the argument that Conor McGregor could potentially fight Charles Oliveira for that belt in the summer. And Dana White talking about why Conor McGregor is basically treated far different than anybody else on the roster. I get
Dana
that.
White called him very special.
Yeah.
Okay. But let's stop lying to ourselves and calling him special and call it what it really is. He's a fucking moneymaker.
He's a draw. He is still a draw. But it's like they're trying so goddamn hard for the old Conor to come back.
Well,
that motherfucker dead.
That guy's gone. When Conor started breaking into 7 digits on his income, man, old Conor went away.
Yeah, like the money went up and the fighting came down. Like I fight less, but I make more money.
Right.
Fuck, I'm going to just do this.
Yeah.
Which I do the same thing because I'm not a champion.
Sure. Well, we expect, it's like, well, he used to be this. He used to be able to. Yeah, that's the problem. It's all past tense.
Yeah.
I think Conor can probably still win some fights, but it's not going to be against the level of competition that, number one, that he wants, or number two, that the UFC wants.
Yeah. Who wants to pay to see that fight? And then who would actually want to fight Conor at that level? No one in the top 5.
No.
In the lightweight. Fuck that.
Yeah, you can make the argument, because if you want to try to throw it out there, it's like, well, maybe Michael Chandler should be a guy that they ought to try to line up. Granted, I mean, I think we're past this time where Conor McGregor gets an immediate championship fight just for sitting around on his ass and staying active on social media and making sure he's keeping the fan base happy. But if they were to throw him a Chandler fight, I think he's got to take it. But I don't know that he has the skills to beat the fucking former champ out of Bellator. I think it's going to be an interesting 2021 or 2022. Whoops. Because the fact, I think that we are going to get a Conor fight at some point. That guy knows if he stays on the shelf for an extended period beyond what he's been so far. Now, granted, I realize he broke his fucking leg in that Poirier fight, but Conor McGregor has to continue. In order to maintain relevancy, it's more than just posting some shit on Twitter once in a while. This dude has to, and Instagram, really, because Conor's got to show off his good stuff, Like,
that's another means of income.
Look at my Bentleys, but
look at my booze.
But
a little Scottish there, my bad.
But do you think if they throw him a Chandler fight, do you think number one, Conor takes it? Number two, I don't know that anybody would like the outcome of that fight.
If you've been banking on a Conor McGregor win streak, man, you've been disappointed for a long time.
Well, again, a win streak starts with people you can beat. And Conor is not going to be fighting lesser competition.
No, never. No, shit. I think we're going to be in for another fight or two. This motherfucker losing until he's just done. Conor McGregor really retires 2022. There you go.
What about a rematch? Juliana Pena, the champion at 135 in the women's, against a rematch against Amanda Nunes.
I don't know. I think I'm lukewarm on it just because I don't like Dana's opinion towards the Nunes-Shevchenko champ fight.
Oh, because he's like, why do we run it back? Well, because I'm pretty sure that Nunes lost that fucking second fight.
Yeah. Well, yeah, fuck yeah. So, yeah, you give it to her. I mean, shit, she was fucking champion for 5 years.
Well, yeah, but a second time around, I think Pena gets stronger. I think she gets better. That's the problem. I think Amanda Nunes might have peaked And if that's the thing, and if Pena is still getting better and better all the time, that's a problem. It's the same fucking problem that what's her name at 115? Carla Esparza has of one to get a rematch against Rose Namajunas. Now, granted, that's the one that makes sense. But man, it's a different world. Carla Esparza, when she beat Rose back in the Ultimate Fighter, they were two different fighters. Carla's gotten a little better, but mostly the same.
Yeah.
Rose Namajunas is a fucking monster compared to what she used to be. For what she used to be. And she shouldn't have lost, by the way, that short Brazilian gal.
Andrade.
Yeah, because she refused to let go of that fucking headlock that she had, and she got promptly spiked, and that knocked her out. I mean, realistically...
It's just bad call.
Yeah.
Bad call on her part.
You know, I mean, and that's the one thing that's interesting about sport, because you never know what's going to happen. But I'm getting worn a little thin by Dana White putting together little things that make him happy that don't make any sense, you know, pound for pound. That's never made sense to me, because, like, wait a minute, well, who's putting this together? Oh, nobody? So basically, for fucking like a decade, their biggest draw at the time, John Jones, was always, oddly enough, the pound for pound best that's out there. Well, John Jones now in the heavyweight, he's not a big pull. He's not making money, although he says he's going to get a heavyweight fight in 2022. But
we'll see.
But whoever it is that is making that promotion money gets at the top of that heap, which tells me that the pound for pound stuff is nonsense. And the other thing is, where the UFC can kind of go fuck itself, is the Sean O'Malley thing. Because you got a guy...
Hey, ready yet?
In Dana's own words, he said, we're bringing him along slow. Well, why? You don't do that with anybody else unless you're trying to stack the deck. So that way, Sean O'Malley maybe can get a little better and a little better and a little better, maybe, to start trying to challenge into that top 5. He's only just now got in the top 15, but he's still going to be fighting a bunch of people you've never heard of, because they can't risk another loss for that guy.
And that division gets pretty scary up there near the top, as they all should be.
Sure. Yeah, they want to wait until some guys are too old, and then they can make the fight. You know, Sean O'Malley fight. They probably wouldn't do that to Dominic Cruz, because he's also their little golden child for the talking heads. But they'll wait until T.J. Dillashaw is well past his prime, then they'll make that fight.
I'm shocked.
Look at that, Sean O'Malley just destroyed a guy that. Yeah,
I'm shocked he hasn't had a fight announced since his
TJ?
return.
Maybe
like
still
not even a rumble.
Didn't he have like some surgery? I don't know. My days of following what T.J. Dillashaw is doing are fucking well past.
As they should be.
Other divisions. Do you think there's anything exciting we're going to see in 2022? I mean, we pretty fast out of the gate, we're going to get Cyril Gane fight against Francis Ngannou, but I don't see where Ngannou doesn't win that fucking fight in the first round, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a heavyweight division. Who knows?
Heavyweight is a problem because the UFC can't control as much as they would like, because who fucking knows? You clip a dude even slightly, and that fight might be over.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Look, God damn it. I feel like any big guy has a chance to knock out the champ.
What about the void of 205? When you have Glover, Teixeira, and I don't really have a problem with Glover, it's just like, that guy's the champ of a division? Get the fuck out of here. That's a problem.
Well, hey, John Jones left. That was it.
Well,
that was it.
We kept hoping that Jan Blachowicz might be able to carry over a little bit of excitement, but 205 it's dead.
Yeah, I mean, it's just until, I would say it's dormant until another fucking murderer comes up. And maybe that fucking one dude that knocked out Dominic Reyes that has like the fucking big ass hair on the...
That crazy scary dude from somewhere in Eastern Europe,
Eastern
European guy or something.
Pretty scary.
Yeah. What about 185? So we're going to get an Adesanya Whitaker rematch pretty soon into 2022. I like Whitaker's chances a little better the second time around.
Yeah, I think he's a better fighter now than he was.
Well, I mean, a loss will do a lot of things for a guy, right?
Especially like a guy that can take that negative and fucking turn it into a positive.
Yeah, Adesanya's already talking shit, which makes me believe he's probably a little nervous.
Yeah.
Because he's already saying, this time around, he's going to bury this guy and, never have to deal with him again.
Going to myrtleize him.
Like, you don't want to have to deal with him again. Is that how telling is that man, I don't want to fight this guy.
I'm so sick and tired of fighting this guy because, I fought him once.
Let's see, 170. I don't see anybody tipping Kamaru off of that one this year. 155. Now I like Oliveira. I really do.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a. I don't think he is an invincible champion.
Oliveira shows he can be dropped, and Gaethje fucking he gets paid to do that. So
yeah, but Gaethje's wrestling is not as good as people keep trying to say.
Oh no, he's even acknowledged that himself. Like, this goes to the ground. I'm in a lot of fucking trouble.
Yeah. 145. That's a division that used to be really exciting. It's gone a little stagnant because Max Holloway
is chasing the belt rather than holding it.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think him and Volkanovski will fight sometime this year.
The third time, right?
Yeah.
Volkanovski's beat him twice. This is a promotion. It's like, fuck that. We're going to make you keep fighting this guy until our guy wins. That's the other problem I have with the UFC. But it's also a business. I get it. Because if you can get people fired up, and Volkanovski's not a charismatic champ by any means. So
I was going to say, has he fought since the last? I got to pull up and see if he's fought since the second Holloway fight.
Yeah, he only go out and just beat the brakes off of. That wasn't Brian Ortega, was it? No.
I think it was.
Maybe it was.
It was Brian Ortega.
Yep. So I don't know. We'll see. Eventually, if you make Max Holloway fight Volkanovski over and over and over and over and over again, about 6-7 times, finally Max is going to get the win, and then Dana White can say, "Told you, bitches." 135. Again, that's a division that has got a hell of a lot of murderers in it. But
and they have 2 champs.
Yeah, that's
So they'll have to get that squared away.
Right.
Which hopefully they do that sooner rather than later, because Aljamain Sterling fucking being the champ of that division is murdering it. Thankfully, a lot of other motherfuckers are fighting below him.
Aljamain is not going to fight until the promotion basically says, look, you're going to lose your belt if you don't fight. And then he'll magically then be well enough
He's
to
just
fight.
waiting to get that Wheaties box before he fights again.
He ain't get it. 125, I don't fucking care about that in the men's division.
Brandon Moreno and Davison Figueiredo could just fight back and forth for perpetuity.
Those are the only 2 in that division, right? And Benavidez.
Yeah.
Actually, Benavidez is 135
Les
now.
Dillashaw wants to try to cut back down 125.
That's a bad idea. On the ladies' side of it, 145 is going to sit. Nobody's going to challenge Amanda Nunes at 145 because
Shit, this might be the time to do it, though. Like, fuck that. I want that bitch right now.
maybe. But the problem is this, because there's not a dedicated 145er.
Yeah, there ain't.
They're
no
all
featherweights.
135s, so don't have to cut weight or not much.
Yep.
135. I like Juliana Pena. They're gonna run that one back. I like her chances second time around. Actually, I like her chances of finishing that fight even faster second time.
Yeah.
125. I don't see anybody challenging Shevchenko. 115. Rose Namajunas. She's a beast. So I think that's kind of the full rundown of all the champs in the UFC right now.
Now we need a women's heavyweight.
We need some, right?
That's right. We need something new up there.
Yeah, we'll go from 145 all the way to a 265er, and
And then you'll watch the pay-per-view buy rates skyrocket.
or not. Either way. Shit, I don't know. We want to get around to making some picks then.
I think we should. We're an hour deep.
Oh shit,
We an hour deep.
Well, let's make some picks then. All right. So, what you drinking?
Beer, of course, but a little Corbel at the toll of the bell.
Well, the old sparkly coming up a little later. I would say some Bullet Rye, but I don't know. I feel like a pussy tonight. I'm going to just stay on the beer and the bubbly, I think.
A puss.
A massive puss.
A massive pussy.
Let's see. What are you listening to tonight?
Fuck. The, I'm going to be fucking listening to the Kevin Robbins end of year playlist.
Yeah, I threw it together because through the year when we just fuck around, we like try to figure out, remember an artist's name or whatever. I try to mentally log it away. I mean, sometimes there's some failure, some success, but
varying levels of success.
But yeah, I try to put together a reasonable New Year's Eve rundown of shit, and it's an amalgam of nonsense that we've listened to around here, talked about around here, whatever. Yeah, that's certainly going to be forthcoming. Fights, I don't know, man. We just got done talking about fights for a solid 20 minutes.
We will pick to reflect on a proper year of Chingaso's way.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it. Thanks for joining us through 2021. Headed on to 2022. We'll keep doing what we do every other week, generally, sometimes back to back. You never know.
As the gods decree.
That's right. Anyway, happy 2021. Happy New Year's. Enjoy 2022.